What's happening, troops? Hello, how you doing? Welcome in. You're watching twitch.tv/1030. Do people still say forward slash? It should just be slash, shouldn't it? We could save 2 syllables. Anyway, how's it going? Welcome in. I don't think we need to see Mary Whitehouse anymore. Ta-ta, Mary Whitehouse. Let's get her deleted next to Hulk Hogan. How you doing? At the start of my stream, I like to share any good news. If you have any good news, please stick it in chat. I'd pure love to hear what your good news is, if you've got any of that. Don't know if you've spotted on the internet, bad news. The rest of the world, pure bad news everywhere, man. It's shite. However, here on my wee part of the internet, I can do whatever I want, kinda. Or well, not, as it turns out. So I'll talk about that later on. I want to know what your good news is. Get your good news in thick and fast and we can start the stream. And in the meantime, check out a wee bit of graphics. Thank you for looking at these graphics. And now, back to the camera feed with 1030. Live! How we doing, folks? Hello, Glasweedian. Hello, Yes It's Bland. Hello, Carvor. Hello, Shaggus. It was funny after the raid yesterday to hear, I think he's Canadian, a Canadian streamer go, "Hey, Shaggus." It was funny, because obviously your name's a Scottish, I'd assume, like Shaggus. Do you know what I mean? I'd assume. Hello Ian McLeod, hello Laxonian. You mean you graduated from TikTok? Aye, maybe. I don't know why. I've been suspended for TikTok Live for 6 days, right? So I did a wee bit of an investigation. And I think the reason is potentially that TikTok have maybe updated their live category so that it now needs to be, if you're doing it via a third party tool like I am, so I'm streaming for OBS, right? It needs to be over 50% gaming content or something like that. So I've only just unbanned myself, so I was like pure indefinitely banned, or so I thought. But it turns out it's because I had a link to my Twitch in my TikTok bio. You can't have that. But it didn't tell me that's what it was. So there's a separate bit next to your bio for links. So if I put the link in that, it'll let me stream on TikTok again. But because I'm streaming from OBS to TikTok, 50% of the content that I make needs to be gaming content. So I don't really do that. I mainly moan about stuff. It could also be the fact that I was pure effing and jeffing. So it could have been that as well. Because I don't know how they take too kindly to that. It could also be because I was talking about China's use of VPNs. Maybe that. So maybe that. I don't know. Either way, I'm put in the TikTok jail for 6 days. Chameleon, how you doing? Chameleon is in with a wee bit of good news and listening at the start of the stream. Will you like to share good news, big or small? Let me test the... Bubble tubes are good. Bubble tubes are good. Chameleon's in with a bit of good news. Chameleon says, good news, my instructor reckons I'll pass my test first time when the time comes in December. But on the flip side, I had an awful lesson because I'm in a shitty mood today. That's a wee shame. That's brutal. I hate having to be in good moods, because sometimes you're just not feeling it. But listen, another lesson is another lesson. And if you got your test booked, congratulations on getting your test booked. I've heard a lot of people here, driving tests are getting sort of poached and sold and stuff like that. Some bogus nonsense. But congratulations, it sounds like absolute progress. Roll on December, 100%. Hello Pancake Manta, hello Rye3D. Great news, you hoping for a cancellation or December? So, I thought you were talking to me, that I'm going to get cancelled in December. And I'm like, I've not even done anything yet. Hello Pancake Manta. I'm doing good. Rye3D says, good news, my girlfriend got her wisdom teeth out last Friday and she's not been in a great deal of pain. That's amazing. I still really value, I've got this wisdom tooth out and I really want this one out. And the dentist's like, nah. And I'm like, could you just please take it out? Nah. I'm like, go on, but when I get this one out, the relief. It was amazing. It was just brilliant. And I was on top of the world. Plodder says, good news, my partner bought me a Greggs. That is some sensational news, Plodder. That is class. 1030 Broadcasting Corporation, yes. Or maybe 1030 Studio, because I own a company now called 1030 Studio. So I need to do something with that, or maybe just wrap it up. Shagger Haggis, aye, never Shagger Haggis. Steph just says, nice to see you. Made out of the big bad woods last night. Oh aye, that's right, I went to the woods. I went to a different part of the woods that I'd never been before. And so the vibe is wee Fred Macaulay, not the comedian Fred Macaulay. I've got a dog called Fred, and was it because you called Hogan a dead wanker? I didn't call Hulk Hogan a dead wanker. I called Hulk Hogan a big dead cunt. I prefer that. It's like anyway. Fred's lymph nodes are like about half the size of an apple, and I'm like, oh mate, I googled it. Don't Google it. I googled it, and the internet's like that. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. So finally managed to get a vet appointment, and so today I'm going to be wrapping up just a wee bit early, not a big bit early, just a wee bit early, because we need to take wee Fred Macaulay to the vet to get all sorted, all nice. So I was looking up, and apparently they might just give him antibiotics and stuff, and that'll be cool, or whatever it is, right? But potentially they need to do a biopsy, so they put a really thin needle into the lymph node, take a wee bit of it, and then go and do some boff and shit to figure out what he's got up with him. And I don't know, man, because Fred's a good boy, right? But see if he's not into doing something, he'll let you know. And he's that clever that there isn't really a way of like, see if Pepper doesn't want to do something, it's fine, it's getting done anyway, it's fine. What can you do about it? Whereas Fred, if he doesn't want to do something, sometimes there could be a wee bit of aggro. So, not really looking forward to that, but we will see how it goes. I've got a very good vet. But I've not slept last night. Haven't slept a wink last night. So I just stayed up doing some like admin stuff. So we've got the vet today. I think I'll be off here maybe about 3 o'clock probably to get ready to do all that sort of stuff. And then to make up for that, I'm sure I'll be able to come on later tonight. Laxonian says, just stick a looping gif of Minecraft at the bottom. Aye, maybe I could. Maybe I could put a video game here. Just write video games across the top. I think ultimately if I want to keep streaming on TikTok, what I do is maybe just get a phone and stick it here and just stream for the phone. You know what I mean? But if I need to do all of that sort of stuff, I can't really be arsed. So I don't know. There could be multiple reasons. So I was doing a wee bit of research, and this person says, "Hello, I'm sorry you had this happen, like to a different thing 19 days ago. TikTok recently changed the requirements for streaming from third-party service such as Streamlabs," which is what I'm doing, "and that all content must be 50% gaming related. I would check to see if you meet the requirements." So that's pish. That's pure pish. So let's see what it says here. Starting 7th of July, TikTok creators must stream at least 50% gaming content to keep access to TikTok Live. If access is revoked, you can reapply after 14 days, provided 50% of your streams during that time are gaming content. Once reinstated, you must consistently meet 50% gaming content requirement to keep access. What? So, that's kind of brutal. Ensure that your access is revoked. Click on that. Oh, here, I've not done this. So let's just do that. I'm going to minimise it in case it doxes me or whatever else. Here, did you enjoy setting up a VPN? A VPN? Did you do it? And did it all work and everything like that? Okay. Cool, right, so it looks as if I need to do some bloody admin with TikTok. They make it very difficult. They really do. Make it extremely difficult to just do things. Shaggy says TikTok shite. I know, but there's like eyeballs there and all the young folk with disposable income and stuff like that. I'm trying to grow. You know what I mean? You need to do the TikTok stuff, unfortunately. Do you like my mug? I was feeling sad, right? Went to Asda, bought a mug. Look at that, man. Look at that for a good mug. Oof. Cheered me up. I never realised that buying mugs would improve my life as much as it did. It's like a wee boost. Like a wee gift to myself. Because the other mugs that we've had for a long time, and they've started getting that yon scratched away that you get in a dishwasher. Got a new mug, life's brilliant again. Pancake Manta says, other cool news, they added cannibalism to Peak. That sounds decent. I want to play that Peak game. And do you know what I did yesterday? I contacted some of the best people, man. Some of the best people that are on the platform. I contacted folk who have previously in the past asked me to play a game and have not been available or whatever. You're talking Llama-chan, you're talking Zaffer Cakes, you're talking Cater Cakes, no relation to Zaffer Cakes, you're talking B. Dolan, and you're talking... There's somebody else. I shouldn't have done this, because then that other person will be sitting watching like that. Why didn't they remember me? Zaffer Cakes, Llama, Dolan, Kate. Oh, I am the fifth. I'm the fifth guy. And so what I'm trying to do is get all of us in a computer game together. And on Twitch, going to do some wild. Not today. So this is like a slow introduction to them. So I just put out the feelers. I was like, here, you's up for playing a computer game? And they were all like, aye. And then I just didn't reply, so I'm like, right. But how good would that be, man? So, we might be playing Peak. We might be playing something else. And I'm looking forward to it. Don't know when it's going to be. Probably an evening stream. Maybe Friday, something like that. Maybe even Saturday. Well, I think probably people, Zaffer Cakes, maybe get a comedy gig on Saturday, because that's what he does. So, watch this space, man. How cool, you know, playing games with people, how cool would that be? So, let's see. Pancake Manta says, some good news. Was productive last night and done more writing for a short story book. Also started doing some ideas for a potential front cover. That sounds dynamite. That's cool, sort of working in parallel, doing the artwork while you're actually writing it, because it would deeper influence your understanding of like the world and the story and things. Dynamite. Aye, so I want to play Peak, maybe playing Peak with people. Remember, if you're just in, I would like to hear your good news. Andrew Walker says, you're British freedom boy. Andrew Walker, don't call me the B word, thanks. Where I'm from, that's a slur. Andrew Walker, okay? Where I'm from, that's a slur. You can't call me the B word, Andrew, on YouTube. Steph just says, I wonder if all the folk wanting a chug in the UK will fuck up the metrics for the broadband companies in other countries. Looks like the full world at the same time are all implementing draconian internet laws, and it looks like this is just the beginning. Why is this the case? I think it's maybe to do with Palestine, because for the first time what is getting pushed to us is the truth. We can see is like, no, it's not the truth, man. Have you seen this video? That's not the truth. And I think then they've realised that, oh fuck, they're sort of mobilised and self-aware. This might just be conspiratorial thinking, I don't know. But it's strange that all over the world, simultaneously, they're like, I stop people from being able to do anything, because this is, you know. So I don't know. I can't make sense of what's happening just now, but I know it's bloody scary, and I know they've set it up to make it really difficult to argue against because of the whole children and pornography and stuff. It's intentionally engineered to be something that we just sit back and let happen. Really, really, really concerning. Also, right-wing idiots have made it impossible to speak about free speech. So, when I was young, free speech was important. People spoke about it, people defended it, because you should be allowed to criticise your government without fear of, repercussions. We live in a democracy. You should be allowed to do that. That's free speech. You should be allowed to criticise big corporations without fear of getting sued into oblivion. That's free speech. However, nowadays, because I've been drip-fed by right-wing absolute nutjobs, free speech is associated with idiots who think it means, oh, I should be allowed to say racist stuff and have no consequence. And that's slowly been drip-fed to all of us. So now we're of the opinion, as a group, that people that moan about free speech must be like one of that lot. And so right now it's less popular than it's ever been to speak about free speech and to champion free speech. Coincidentally, at the same time as a lot of our free speech has been eroded because of these draconian internet laws. So everyone's hellish, isn't it? Everyone's hellish. Fred's got lumps on his necks and draconian internet laws. So take care of yourselves, everybody. I don't know what's happening, but all over the world right now, weird censorship stuff's coming in, and it seems to be coordinated. And I don't like it, man. I've been on the internet since I was about 8 years old. It used to be bloody brilliant, then it get gradually worse, but this feels like a line in the sand where it's just about to become unusable. And I don't like it, man. I'm waiting until it reaches Twitch, because Twitch, although I think a lot of people, because trolling and stuff like that, have already needed to authorise their identity on Twitch. I don't know. Anyway, listen everybody, I'm moaning already. It's only a couple of minutes into the stream. If you've got any good news, I would like to know what it is. Please share your good news, thank you. Chameleon says, one of the early driving lessons last year was in the snow and ice, and I didn't find it too intimidating. So as long as I'm being safe for the conditions, I'm not really bothered about being icy. Amazing. That's class. I want to learn how to drive. Ian McLeod says, good news, I've leftover Chinese for my lunch. Amazing, mate. I went for dinner with Rachel last night. It was very spontaneous. It's just like, do you want to go out for a meal? Rather than phone something in. Rachel's like, aye. So we went home because we were out with the dog. We dropped off Fred, put on sensible trousers, and went for a wee Italian. We had a half pizza, half pasta each. And it was nice just us. It's been a wee while since we've done that. Anyway, Carnivore, I've got a similar wisdom tooth issue. Anyway, so wee Fred, we'll find out. So I'm ending the stream in about an hour, cause wee Fred has got an appointment with the doggy doctor. Hello Devon Inc, how you doing? Hello everybody, sorry if I've not said hello. Ry3D, SSRI's Neck Nil, what's happening? Ian McLeod, I'm not up to speed in the chat just yet, but please keep your good news coming in, because I need it, lads, right now. Carver says, I feel sick in my stomach, it's no even my dog. Well, he seems in good spirits. Fred doesn't know he's ill. He's still jumping about and things. He wasn't eating his biscuits. He would eat half of them, and then he's just looking at them like that. I want to eat these, but... So Pipper had a wee shot, and Fred's like, what the fuck are you doing? Pipper's like, aye, right. And then he's just sort of standing over them, so I lifted them, because he was getting like stressed out that Pipper might eat them, so I lifted them, and then later on gave him the rest. So, I don't know, man, but he seems alright. But he's got big swollen things in here. Bowdy says, how come folk on eBay are trying to sell iPhones with TikTok on them for $7,000? No idea, Bowdy. Not a clue, man. I don't know what young people are doing nowadays. I don't even know about anything. Steph just says, when we first got our dog, we went to a small local vet for his injections, and what have you, was just in our house. Poor lad got his balls checked next to some woman's tumble dryer. Fred, when he was younger, had a wee bit of aggro, right? So he was born during lockdown, so we couldn't really socialise him, right? And there was things that would sometimes set him off. So like, if we walked by somebody in a high-vis, and he hadn't seen high-vis before, he'd be like, oh, the fucking, look at that. Or there was like a child on the shoulders of an adult, they're walking like that. Fred's like, are you fucking seeing this shit, man? He's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, I know, it's cool, man. He's like, it's not cool, that is not cool. So, went to the vet, and we're like, he's a bit anxious and stuff because he hasn't been socialised. The reason he hasn't been socialised is because of, lockdown. We physically couldn't introduce him to different types of people during an era where his brain would have been plastic and receptive to just learning that folk are cool. And vet's like, chop his balls off. We're like, what? Chop his balls off, sling them in the bin. And we're like, right, aye, cool. So chopped his balls off, slung them in the bin, healed up, was fine, all fine about it. And then it still happened. So then we went to, we've been through a couple of trainers. He's alright now, he's cool now, he's mellowed out, he's fine. But we went to a couple of different trainers, and one of them's like that. Well, if when you castrate them too early, it could actually make aggression worse. And I'm just like, Monty, fuck, man. Give us a break. He's now fine. He's totally chilled out with all that sort of stuff. But it's just difficult, man. Yes, it's Bland says, why though? And I forget what I was talking about that you've asked, why though? Alex Watson, so this is an impacted wisdom tooth. They don't want to take it out. And I think it's just like cash, NHS or something like that. I don't know. Am I going to just take it out? No. I didn't think it would bother with a VPN, but I have done it and paid for it. I'll probably try setting it up in the router and maybe try sending different domains to different countries. That sounds cool, Plodder. With that one that I mentioned previously, you're allowed to install it on 5 separate devices. Ian McLeod, how you doing? Thank you very much for subbing. That's a cool profile picture. Ian McLeod, profile picture. Bubble Blast, lovely time. If you want all of this, feel free to sub to me. Ian, thank you very much for your Prime sub. Ian says, I just heard a new Scottish band the other day, Dead Modern. Seems they've only released a single EP since 2021-22 and it's a crime. Fantastic stuff. I've never heard of them. Dead Modern. It's a cool name for a band, isn't it? Dead Modern. I will check them out. Thanks very much for that. On Bandcamp. I don't know these people. Or maybe I do know them. Who knows? Check out these Scottish musicians. Dead Modern, featured on the 1030 Twitch chat. Ian McLeod, you better not be in that band, and you have used your sub message to do a wee bit of self-promotion, because I'll get to the bottom of that, because we can't have and all of that. Ian, thank you very, very much for subbing. Funkle Albert, how you doing? Funkle says, I'd invite you to a game, but I'd have to stream again. Just get streaming, man. Just get streaming. Hello, Terrier Darts. How code with TD. Sorry, I keep using your old name. What have you been doing, you naughty boy? I think on TikTok I've either been talking about Chinese VPNs, calling Hulk Hogan a big dead cunt, or TikTok now, if you're streaming for OBS, must be at least 50% gaming content. I think it's that. But see, when you get banned on TikTok, they don't tell you why. It's just like, figure it out, man. Go onto forums. All that, right? TD, if it gets quiet later, I've identified a bug in StreamerBot to do with the names of commands and just showing up on a list. So if one of your commands has got multiple commands that triggers it on different lines, visually it can overwrite where other commands should be. And a way around about it is to maximise then minimise the window, and then it shows properly. But there's a wee bug. I'm on the alpha version, and I don't know if you are on the dev team, but I know that you're in about the dev team and on the forums and stuff like that. So I keep meaning to put a thing on Discord to tell them about it if they don't already know. But just when you were in, I thought, oh, I'll mention that. Do you know what? I'll see if I can show it to you just now. Right, so that's how it's supposed to look, right? But on my haha command, I've got like a list, right? And previously, I wonder what happens if I minimise this. No, it's showing fine now. But previously, unless I did that, even though I had multiple commands there, it would just show that one command and like one other one and wouldn't show the rest. So maybe it's been updated. I don't know. Next time it happens, I will take a screenshot and I will stick it in the StreamerBot Discord. So I think I'm just banned for TikTok because they've changed their policy that TikTok Live via OBS now needs to be over 50% gaming content. So nothing dramatic, really. Carver says, Dando blowing up Kate and struggling to breathe genuinely nearly made me pass out. It's the wee funny puppeteered characters in it. And then Kate trying not to laugh was just like, ah! Speaking of Kate, hello Kate Cakes. Good news, I got a DM for some wank asking me to play games. Just kidding, actual good news. I went to dance fitness class today and it was fun. No idea what I was doing, but it was exercise. That is dynamite, Kate Cakes. Fucking yes. I still need to get hench myself. Made slow progress towards getting hench. It's a shame we're no living next to each other. It'd be cool to like go on big walks together and all of that. Did you see that someone for the government claimed that if you use a VPN to bypass the age verification, you endanger a child? I did see that, aye. It's almost, hello Hammy, it's almost as if they're liars. It's almost as if they're just lying. It's like something brass eye, isn't it? It's a farcical scenario that we're in. Anyway. Total distraction. They're intentionally using salacious language to tarnish the idea that it's a bad law. Yep. It's bogus, man. Anyway. Meanwhile, everyone has worked out that you can use Death Stranding 2 photo mode to bypass Reddit and Discord's age verification. Aye. So there's different ways of bypassing the age verification, but I personally still wouldn't recommend that you do that because they don't know that you've bypassed it. So from their perspective, they're just like, oh, another person signed up to our software, so that means it's winning. That means we're winning. This is a success. So my strategy is to not comply. I'm not sending even fake versions of my face. I'm not doing it. No signing up, not verifying my identity, not doing it for as long as I physically can. And I'm going to use other strategies. For example, right now it's still legal to use a VPN. In my previous stream, I did a big tutorial on how to use a VPN. So I recommend looking into that. I keep meaning to clip that up, so maybe I'll do that later tonight. But So it is cool that you can trick it, but for their perspective, their metric will still identify, oh, we're winning, this is a success. So I would personally recommend don't trick it, because tricking it might be illegal, whereas using a VPN isn't currently. You know what I mean? But it's changing every day, man. Very murky. Aye, Hammy, it's quite early for you. Just woke up and saw you was on. Very likely I'm going to fall back asleep in a moment. Cool. You're on the West Coast. Dolan sometimes wakes up to me streaming. He said it's a good to get out of bed with me on stream. So we've got West Coast represented, we've got East Coast represented. Anybody else in any sort of exotic places in the world? Even Coatbridge. Bowdy says, good news, I signed off on the artwork for the Venga Boys blue plaque. Even managed to sneak a QR code for the original video onto it. Fucking, the things you got up to, Bowdy. That's brilliant. Here, we should put up a blue plaque for... I think I'm going to get one made for this. And if you know, you know, right? Where are we? If you know, you know. Where are we? This here. So in Glasgow. Right? If you know, you know. See, if you don't know, you don't want to know, man. But a culturally important thing happened there. And I think that needs a blue plaque, definitely does. The fact that Starmer used the phrase legal but harmful should have sent alarm bells ringing with everyone. If it's legal, what's the issue? They're just at it, man. Everybody's at it. I remember when a web browser came in boxes and cost money. How cool would it be if they still sold software in boxes? My God. 87 Logic says, once again, banging my big, massive everything went downhill with the demise of MySpace drum. Do you know who's cool? See that Tom from MySpace? Who just made loads of money and then pissed off and he got out of everybody's hair and he just started doing cool stuff with his life. You know? What a guy. We should all be more like Tom. See if I got to the stage where I was a millionaire, had like a good couple million and I was comfortable and sorted, I would just disappear, man. You wouldn't see me ever again. I don't understand how these billionaires can like be in the public sphere and do all this dangerous stuff. You're already a billionaire, man. Thanks for the follow, Tonush. How you doing? Is it alright that follows come up here? Because a lot of people like private follows, right? And I imagine a lot of people might be intimidated if they follow me, not knowing that it's going to put their profile picture on blast. What do you think about that? I personally wouldn't mind if I followed somebody and it showed, but like putting out to the group. I regret one time somebody followed but the profile picture looked a wee bit scary and I commented on it and I shouldn't have done that. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, you look like a nutter. Do you remember that? The person didn't show up again and I felt a wee bit sorry because they looked like a cool person, but just... So I wouldn't say anything bad about it anytime anybody comes in. I think it's something to do with the Hadron Collider, by the way. Squilky's Callie has been reading The Robot's Dream of Electric Sheep and it's worryingly not far off of where we could end up. Aye man, mad replicants. Humanoid robots are coming on leaps and bounds, sometimes literally. Dearie me. Oh, I have frisbeed many an AOL CD out of a high-rise flat back in the day. I would collect them, and then we would get steaming in high, and then we'd open up my mate's window and just like... they'd be like that. Lot of fun. I was younger, I didn't understand the littering. Normalise wearing autistic trousers to restaurants. These aren't my autistic ones, but... got some funky trousers on today. They're pyjama trousers. I didn't think you would see them. Tragic Brompton says, good news, found a Twix in the cupboard that I'd forgotten about at lunchtime. Get in, man. I have a boxed copy of Netscape Navigator for Windows 95. It's a PC big box and was $29.99 retail. My goodness grief. Imagine it still worked. It won't still work. It probably doesn't even know what CSS is. It doesn't. Netscape Navigator. That takes me back. Now, there's a name I've not heard for a long time. I've started working from a dog cafe on Mondays, and it's done a lot for my mental health, to be honest. Good news. Nino, that is class. That's brilliant. AOL CDs in the microwave as well, with a friend's Tesla coil. Dynamite. This up here, oh no, it's out of reach. I've got like a wee mini Tesla coil thing that can play music. I need to maybe film some of that for my starting soon. Anyway, it's okay that I've got music on in the background. Hello, Angela Stevens on YouTube. But if you want to destroy a CD in a visually interesting way, stick it in a microwave. However, I think it emits stuff that you probably don't want inside your microwave, because it'll be toxic and poisonous, but it makes quite a cool visual display. Don't play with microwaves, everybody. Don't do that. Get an adult to do it and watch. Anyway, Alex Watson, I'm very sorry about your wisdom tooth. I went in, they just don't care. Angela Stevens had to have 2 teeth out on Monday. Good grief. Anyway, it's probably because you're over 20. I just want the tooth out. I'd like to promote them because they are great, nostalgic synth. I think they're a bit of Scottish super band. Ian McLeod, thank you very, very much for getting me onto that band. I'm going to have a wee look at them. Sorry for my accusations. TikTok may be conforming to your conspiracy theory of limiting free speech by banning a bunch of users to stop streaming IRL injustices. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'll try and get back on TikTok. I'm back on Twitter, guys, and I feel very conflicted about that because the owner's a big tube. But right now there's apparently 111 people. Apparently, I don't know if I can trust that number. Sorry about the doubledness. So if you sorry about doubled audio. If you're currently watching me on Twitter, there's a chat, right? I don't know if you're real or if Elon Musk's pretending. Don't go over to Twitter. Don't go over to Twitter just for this. If you happen to naturally be on Twitter, and if you happen to naturally be watching me, just type anything into the Twitter chat. If you're watching me on YouTube or anything like that, don't go over to Twitter especially to do this, because I just want to do a wee test to see if this 111 number is accurate, because I don't trust a thing that Elon Musk has done. I found this ace tool on Hugging Face this week that converts bitmap to vector. Is that the one? Aye, I saw that. I want to try that out. I originally saw it and thought, I wonder what it would make of my chess pieces. Remember the 2001 chess pieces? But apparently it's not very good at logos and stuff. But I want to try that out. I haven't had a use for it yet. Cherry Burns says, afternoon, bad man, what's happening? Getting banned off TikTok is like being disliked by Piers Morgan. Aye. I once, the Daily Mail once wrote about some work that I did and called it a big waste. And then I got death threats. And it fucked me up because I didn't realise what was happening. And then it was only later on in life that I realised, oh no, that's actually a good thing. If the Daily Mail think that you're bad, that's actually a good thing. And I suppose this is a contemporary equivalent of that. Kate says you should really put that clip on TikTok about how to do the VPN stuff. I need to clip it up. But I don't know. TikTok seems to be filled with some of the worst slapstick comedy that is Benny Hill rip-offs. It's weird that like the slop exists now. Like nobody has commented on Twitter. I don't think anybody's watching on Twitter. It's weird that this slop exists and that we're being financially incentivized to make something that nobody really enjoys, but it's just like dazzling people that are. It's weird. We're in a weird time. I might get into create a new TikTok account, nothing affiliated with me or my likeness or anything, and just see if I can engineer TikTok slop as a wee experiment. If I had no morals, like I wouldn't put out misinformation or whatever, but I'd put out videos that don't lead anywhere and are just designed for engagement and stuff like that, just to see if it's easy to profit from making TikTok slop. I've got too many projects on the go right now. I probably won't ever get round to this. Next up is the Bubble Robot. I'm clearing some space in this room. Next project, Bubble Robot, lads. How does that sound? Anyway. Also, I've got some things in place, which means that whenever I'm playing this PlayStation and listen to this... Oh no, it's not plugged in. I don't think it's plugged in. Oh no, it is. So it's an original PlayStation via RGB going into my telly, and it's brilliant. Why is that out of focus? And what I've bought some things that means that I can play my PlayStation on this telly, but also have a high quality feed coming out of it into the computer, so you can see and we can play games on a real PlayStation. How cool is it that I don't need to change the input? I can have my PlayStation set up, I can have my Mega Drive set up, and I can have my OBS set up, and it all just works. I love this big telly, man. I love it. It's bloody brilliant. Anyway, I cancelled my ExpressVPN subscription, got Proton VPN account. You can now get a month for £1 right now to try it out. Dynamite hammy. Be wary though, apparently a lot of people say that Proton, you forget to cancel and they up their price. Which is why I didn't go there. I went instead to Mullvad, which I've done a tutorial on yesterday. If anybody wants to check out Proton. So DJ Ducklaw on Twitter, thank you very much. Oh, shush. Has tweeted me, says, oh, we're meant to comment hi. Right? But the tweet, that didn't show up in the chat. So I'm talking about like the chat here. If you happen to already be... If you happen to be watching on TikTok, there's a chat right here. You know what I mean? But, so I don't know, man. I don't know about Twitter. I don't know what's going on Twitter. I don't trust it. I don't trust anything anymore. Trying out stuff, man, just to see what happens. Cherry Bun says, regarding the follows on stream, the cat profile is a great example of when it goes really well. Aye. When I was building this, Norris Day says, I hate my photo coming up. Oh no, Norris Day. Alright, okay. Even with subs and stuff. Nura says, it's a personal touch. I suppose if somebody knows that it's coming up, you could change your profile picture to something that you like. Zabalbus, hello, how you doing? Right, so it is sort of working. DJ Ducklaw says, took me 4 attempts to get into this live properly. Thank you. Thanks very much, everybody. But it's still, I'm not too sure. It's now not telling me how many people are watching. So I'm in two ways about how to do all this, because I have spent pure ages setting it up. But I don't know. I think quiet follows. And then for subs and bits and tips and stuff, that's a bit of a reward. But maybe follows don't, you know what I mean? I think I'll do that. Can see someone not enjoying it, especially if they weren't aware it was going to happen, and it might be a picture of their face or something. Aye. Maybe like smaller or something, so maybe up here. But I mean, it's a cool thing, isn't it? I don't know. Let me think about it. Those Boston Robotics videos are a lot less fun if you imagine machine guns welded to the robots. I've been imagining that since day one. Terrifying. Didn't Black Mirror do it, I think? Like, somebody ages ago when I was building this subbed or whatever, and it was before I had it on a timer, so their picture was just up there for ages, man. And it was like a close-up picture, and it was just on there for ages. That's out of order. Maybe if I just make it a wee bit briefer. I don't know, man. Everything's a work in progress. Hello, Pursue. How do you do? Pursue says, hello, pals. Good news. Blundered into an obscure Glasgow new wave band A couple of almost Gus sounding wonky ones off of Stuart for Slam mentioning Maestro Club, which was next to Glasgow Art School, had a bit of a transgender vibe happening too. Secession from Edinburgh stuff too, already had the touch 12 inches. Pursue, you're so cool, man. I don't even know what a lot of that means. That's some like proper cool words. I know what art school, I know where that is. But that sounds cool, man. We were just, what was the band? Dead Modern, somebody had recommended as well, Scottish band. Anyway, lots of good music coming out of Scotland right now. Hammy says, good news, I have the rest of the week off this week, as we have a company-wide wellness week. Heading to Vegas Friday, Sunday for EVO. I've heard Vegas is dead right now. It's completely quiet, so maybe a good time to go to Las Vegas with my team on the company dime to see the fighting game we've been working on for a few years. That's cool, man. Must feel good to be shipping, you know what I mean, after working on something for that long and getting paid to go to Las Vegas and all that. My goodness. Stevie says, just set up a wee bot to pull from the top of Ask Reddit to put it over Subway Surfers videos. Aye, with an AI voice chatting over the top of it. The Birds Aren't Real group supposedly meant it as a joke and people believe it, so making believable slop is going to get someone excited. The Flat Earth conspiracy as well started as a joke. That started as a joke to just make fun of idiots on the internet, and then idiots saw that and didn't realise it was satire and started believing in Flat Earth stuff. So that started off as a joke. We can't be trusted. This is why I believe we should teach magic tricks in schools. We should teach magic tricks and we should teach professional wrestling, right? Both those things is a very safe environment to study deception. Because if we know how we can fool ourselves and fool each other, then we will have a better understanding of the world. And it would help with stuff like this. Media literacy, figuring out the truth of things, being able to smell bullshit and stuff. Teach everybody a couple of magic tricks. It'll be good socially for them as well. It'll give the autists, like, they'll feel special for a bit. Magic tricks, pro wrestling, man. Do pro wrestling and PE. I'm telling you, it'll really help heal the world. Anyway, I recommend Mulvad over Proton, but whatever works, lads. I've used private internet access for over 15 years, class. Hello Scroobius Pip, how's it going? Can you whitelist users who want to opt out of their picture appearing? I can, Bromo. It's a wee bit of work, but I can do it. I could even set up a thing that will DM somebody. Hello, today when you subbed, your profile picture came up. If you want to stop that happening in the future, reply to this DM with no. And as long as I keep my computer on all the time, I can then interpret those replies. It's a fucking ton of work, man. It's a ton of work. And then once I get it working, a bit of it will break and all of that. So, I don't know. I just thought I would ask you. Scroobius Pip says, I keep considering asking you about streaming on Twitter, but then I keep deciding, fuck it. That wasn't you asking me there, was it? Because if that was you asking me, Scroobius Pip, I think you need to put a wee bit of effort into figuring out how to stream on Twitch first, eh? Well, your technical difficulties that you've been having, when you figured that out, then we can talk about streaming on Twitter as well. Am I right, everybody? Everybody, Scroobius Pip's had terrible internet troubles over the past couple of weeks, and it's a wee shame because I'm sorely missing your streams, man. So hopefully you can return kind of soon and it'll all just be brilliant, and if not be brilliant again. Let's make Twitch great again, am I right? Anyway. How did the one of ones go the other day? No idea what you're on about, I don't know what that means. I forgot what I spoke about that you are replying to. Vegas is 105 degrees this week. Aye, Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit? It's not literally like boiling, is it? I saw a video of Las Vegas taken from a plane the other night. Looks really fucking weird. I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas for one reason: magician shit, man. Magicians, for whatever reason, are in Las Vegas. That's their spot. And I've really, but like, in the time that I've always wanted to go, I've since saw Penn and Teller live over here, and I've saw David Blaine live as well over here. David Blaine, who's on the Epstein list. So I'm like, David Blaine, man. I hope he's not a baddie, man. Although there was other allegations in the past as well, and I'm just like, oh. But nothing's come out of that. And Siegfried and Roy, one of them died because they got mauled by a tiger. Can't see that anymore. And David Copperfield, who again was on the Epstein list. So, and again, right now I've got no appetite to ever go to Las Vegas. I don't think I'd be able to handle the heat as well. I'm Scottish. Folographic showed on the big CRT. I might say it's all about hack together. It's aye. I know about all of that. It'll get fixed probably at some point, but everything is gestural, just a slow push towards progress. I'm aware of that. I like that it's a wee bit hacky. Eventually, I want all the screens on, and for the graphics to like somehow like maybe like wipe in across the screens. But anyway. Zoe the Jobby says, good news, the visit to the animal sanctuary went great and met a new baby pig whose tail was wagging like fuck to have all the people visiting. Oh, we animals. Luna says, good news, I just picked up some old prescription, so that's me done with the medical stuff for the rest of the year, and I'm going to go for my first ever flat viewing on Monday. Dynamite, Luna. Dynamite. Rachel's had some serious problems with her prescription, literally 5 times. She'd got to pick up her prescription. They're like, we've not got it in. Go to this other place. So they go to the other place. And they're like, we don't know anything about this. Have you tried that first place that you went to that sent you here? Rachel's like, aye. So then she'll go to the doctor who wrote the prescription to send to the chemist. The doctor, the receptionist, was like, oh, you wanted it to go to that pharmacy? And Rachel's like, aye, the one that, the address that I've written down. Oh, well, I'm no fae here, so I don't know. It's like, it's an address. You don't need to be from here to know how an address works. It's got a postcode in it. There's a system for identifying physical buildings called an address. You don't need to be familiar with it, do you? And literally it happened 5 times every week. She's having it. Luckily, she can drive and she's quite young and stuff. But imagine that was a prescription of like somebody who was immobile for whatever reason, or found it difficult to like engage in all of that pish. Oh, it was horrible, man. We looked at our doctor. It's got a Yelp review of like 1 star. Everybody's like, this receptionist, fucking hell, man. Where did they find them? So, Rachel's good news is this week she went to the place, and like every time it's failed, she's been saying to the person, listen, this has failed repeatedly. See, next week, is it going to go to see this place here? Is it going to go there? The receptionist's like that. Rachel's like, but it didn't last time, and remember we had this conversation? Receptionist's like that. You don't remember we had this? Just like fucking nothing going on, man. But Rachel's good news is this week she went to the place to pick it up and it was there. Look at that, man. So that was cool. That was really good. Scroobius Pip says, I streamed successfully yesterday and raided you. I appreciate that raid, thanks very much. I didn't know how successful your stream was because it was a short one, so I didn't know if maybe you had issues and then just raided me. Speaking of unsuccessful streams, when you raided me, I was out for a big walk in the woods, and I could call that an unsuccessful stream because it kept cutting out, didn't it? So, egg on my face for hitting you with patter about an unsuccessful stream, and it was actually me who had an unsuccessful stream. Anyway, glad to see you back, Scroobius Pip. Roy of Sunshine says, looking forward to the grand return of Twitch legend Scroobius Pip on Friday. Twitch.tv/Scroobius Pip, yo. Hammy says, I saw Shin Lim with my mum in Vegas. What's Shin Lim doing with your mum? She loved it. Saw Penn and Teller live in Vegas too. They were great. I love Penn and Teller. I love Penn and Teller. I wouldn't mind seeing Shin Lim too. Not entirely my cup of tea of magic, but he's one of the best in the world. Like, I wouldn't give up an opportunity to go and see him. I wouldn't maybe visit Las Vegas purely to see Shin Lim. You know what I mean? Las Vegas to me seems like the ultimate tourist trap. It's loud, obnoxious, and wants your money. It's a place I want to have a satire of in my game, Dynamite. I remember the Skeptics conventions used to be in Las Vegas, because if you're holding a convention, they will give you a subsidised rate if you hold it in one of the hotels that's got a casino in it, like all the hotels, right? Because they are thinking that all the people going to your convention, if it's right next to all the gambling spot, that all your convention attendees will gamble, right? But what they didn't realise is that the skeptic movement, it used to be a big thing, and then it all turned, like Michael Shermer started saying transphobic stuff, and it's all kind of fractured now. But for a while there was like a cool, like Rebecca Watson and, you know, the Novella Brothers and all that. There's like a cool podcast movement and stuff for people that are just looking at like, right, well, what's the evidence of aliens, and what's the evidence of like anti-vaccination stuff? And they would use science and evidence-based thinking to talk about pseudoscience and superstition and stuff. Anyway, every year they had a big convention, and they intentionally had it in Las Vegas so that they could take advantage of the subsidised venue, but they knew that all the people that went there wouldn't be gambling because they're skeptics, so they know the odds and stuff like that. It's just a really nice wee thing. You'd think David Copperfield would just make the Epstein list disappear. That's a solid part of Relax It's Max. No carnivore, they get mauled by a tiger. Siegfried or Roy got mauled by a tiger. I think personally we should stop using animals in most forms of entertainment. In the UK it's illegal to use an animal on stage, but in America they still get away with it, which is why like Piff the Magic Dragon and Piffles, or whatever, the wee dog, R.I.P. that dog died, he couldn't do his act in a theatre in the UK. I think there are exemptions if it's been televised, you know what I mean, if he's on like Britain's Got Talent or something like that. Hammy says, good news, 8.8 magnitude earthquake in Russia that triggered a tsunami warning here on the west coast didn't produce big waves by the time it reached here this morning. 6th largest earthquake ever recorded apparently. Jinx. It's exponential, isn't it? So like a 9 magnitude is double an 8 magnitude, is that right? I'd be shitting my pants if I lived in Los Angeles, man. It's just a matter of time, isn't it? Just a matter of time. Anyway, offered out by the receptionist for a square go if I ring up for in. Tragic Brompton, what is the deal with NHS receptionists? They just... I don't know what the deal is, man. But who knows? It's good news that we've finally got a solution for it. So Chris Angel in Vegas, I don't rate Chris Angel at all. I would call Chris Angel a bad magician. I would actively encourage people to stay away from Chris Angel, because a lot of folk don't know magic, right? And it's like listening to a really trashy bit of music that's bad, and then thinking that all music is bad because you've listened to one song that is shite. If people like Chris Angel, that's cool. Maybe in the heat of the moment and all that, it's like a cool, impressive stage show. But I think Chris Angel is a force for bad when it comes to creativity and art. Very dishonest about his dishonesty. That's a weird thing to say about a magician, but he's not doing it very good through the eyes of other magicians. He's not respected in the magic community at all. He's a step below mime artists in the magic community. Everybody's just like, you fuck off, Chris Angel, man. So I could take or leave it. He uses stooges and stuff, which isn't cool, man. Just learn how to do tricks that don't require that. Hello, Funkle Albert. There's a DM for you in Discord from myself which may provide some entertainment. Shall I check it out just now, Funkle Albert? I'd love to. Keep in mind you might see it on a reflection over here. Funkle Albert, 4 messages. Let's see what they are. Oh, what? There's a special video that was designed for a thing that never happened. Funkle Albert. What? What? Here, right, for context, Funkle Albert sets up things, right? So Funkle Albert was in this room once, right? And he set up a scenario. This isn't that. This looks mental, what's coming up here, right? But I want to set you up. Funkle, this looks weird. I'm not weird, just like, I don't know. Let's watch this in a wee second. But I just want to give context to Funkle, right? Funkle was in this room a couple of months ago, and then a couple of months later was like, by the way, I set up a reveal to something that I didn't know. And I was like, what? He's like, see, when I was in your room, I was like, I've hidden a smint inside a teapot, and it was going to be like a reveal to some sort of online Twitch thing where maybe I'd make a smint disappear and then I would tell you, but he didn't have a setup for it, and eventually like the pressure just got too much. And he was like, there's smints, I left smints in your teapot. So I'm like, what? Alright. What? So I went to my teapot, sure enough, smint, there was one solitary smint in a tin in my teapot. I was like, alright. Cool, man. Cool. That's cool. It is cool, man. See if he'd set that up and like there was something like I dig that. I dig the ambition of doing that, right? Funkle says I left smints in my house. Man left smints in my house. Just leaving some smints and some teapots in a guy's house. Long con, 100%. So that sets the precedent for what's maybe going to... I don't know what this is, but it looks very exciting, right? This looks very exciting. So Funko, just making sure nothing's doxable here. Funko sends me a message just there. Can I read this out? Is it okay for me to watch this on stream? Because I don't know what it is. But I'd like to share this, and I imagine you would like to see my my reaction to this. Is this okay? Right, cool. Funko just sends me a message, right, saying, look, this is going to be hard to explain adequately, but I hope you enjoy this joke which Super D and I planned almost 2 years ago now. I'm just thinking, is there more smints, man? What the fuck? We made a quiz for a Twitch meetup that involved getting a few cameos from a bunch of celebrities, and because you were originally coming, I don't remember a Twitch meetup that I said I was into. I don't remember. So sorry if you set up a thing and I didn't go. Was it in Glasgow? And because you were originally coming, we included a special one just for you, but you couldn't make it. I don't remember this. So instead, here's the video which I was reminded to send you because it came up earlier this week. We know you're going to hate it, and I think that's the point. Big love, pal. Oh, London, right, aye. So do you want to see this video, everybody? I saw a still of the video and it caused me to make that facial expression earlier. It's called Special Video for 1030.mp4. Let's get this downloaded, man. My god. Goodness me. Or well, let's play it from the browser so then you'll be able to hear it. Let's do a wee courtesy play. Right guys, wait till you see this. Let's just abruptly pause the music. Sorry about that. I should have really faded it down. 31 seconds, everybody. I saw a wee preview of it. Super D and Funkle made this for me over 2 years ago. What the fuck is this going to be? Do I need a VPN for this? I think it'll be fine. I wish I could have went to the London meetup, but it was just, you know.
So, and this is a special message for James. James, positive energy. I'm sending you powers. And remember this, if you can go there with your mind, you can go there with your body. And how can I leave you without bending a spoon? So here we go. Watch my arm. 1, 2, 3. Watch it bend. That was specially for you guys. Love you.
Do you want to watch it again? That was shite. Went to see his stupid version of doing it now. That was rubbish, Uri Geller. So for Super D and Funk Albert, this is wild, man. This is absolutely wild. Betting this, says Carivore. I'm gutted he didn't pull out a packet of Smints. This is absolutely wild. Thank you very much. I feel, touched. So thank you very much. Let's watch this again. So for context, everybody, Super D and Funkle know that I absolutely hate Uri Geller because he's like a fraud, man. He claims to be able to cure people with energy. 1, 2, 3, work. 1, 2, 3. He proudly said that he was working for the Mossad government as well, which isn't very cool. And he said on Twitter once that the CIA have given him this photo, and he showed a photo of like a morgue with lots of aliens in it, and he was saying, okay, everybody, this is leaked from the CIA, nobody else has got this, CIA have given me this photo and it's here, look, evidence, everybody, look at this. And I replied underneath saying, you're a fanny, this is a production still from the X-Files, and I included a photo of the same room but for a different angle with like Fox Mulder in the background. It was a production still for the X-Files, and because I just called him out on his piss, he blocked me, right? What I would say is, see if he really genuinely was a psychic, he should have known that I was going to post that. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is amazing. I hope you didn't spend too much money on it. Let's watch it again.
So, and this is a special message for James. James, positive energy. I'm sending you powers. And remember this.
Hold on, I'm going to receive these powers. Although, if he was sending me the powers whenever this was recorded 2 years ago, does that mean I received the powers? How do powers work? Does that mean that 2 years ago I received powers and I just didn't know and maybe I had a really good day? Or is his powers able to be encoded in the video? So every time I watch it back, do I get the powers? How do the powers work, Uri, mate?
If you can go there with your mind, you can go there with your body.
Aye, turns out if I think certain things, my body reacts in certain areas. He's right there.
And how can I leave you without bending a spoon? So here we go. Watch my arm. 1, 2, 3. Watch it bend. That was specially for you guys. Love you.
Guys, he's pluralising me. So at first it was a special message for James, right? And then halfway through he's just forgotten what's happening. It's guys, just like an audience. Nice one, Uri. Your brain's all getting ruined, mate. Dearie me. Thank you very, very much. That was really something special. Thank you. I hope it didn't cost you too much money. And I'm very sorry that you set up something and then wasn't able to use it. I appreciate that. Thanks very much for sending it to me. I've downloaded it. I'm going to try and use it for something, right? But I don't know entirely what it is that I'm going to use it for. But that's wonderful. That's really cool. Thank you very much. Twitch, everybody. Funkle Albert Super D, thank you. Legends, man. Are either of you mods? Because if you aren't, I think you have just earned a VIP. The only reason I ask is because a mod can't be a VIP. It's just the way Twitch works. Twitch.tv/1030. I think that's a wee VIP scenario, isn't it? VIP soup. D. Arise. And VIP. Foncle. Alberte. Arise. Base and Brace, what did you get your VIP for again? We should maybe do regular audits of these VIPs. We should maybe do regular audits because I've no idea why you got that VIP and now I'm like that. How cool was that? That's really made my day. It's made my week. First time witnessing a 1030 VIP, they're kind of rare to be honest. I want the powers. The powers were intercepted by GCHQ. In order to receive the powers, you must verify your age and all of that. Maybe power VPN between me and Israel. He's currently in Israel in a museum that he's built for himself. Imagine building a museum about yourself. What a fanny, my guy's a fanny. Twitter, Uri Geller. Oh no, I thought he'd unblocked me. But no. I wonder if I can find the post. From at 10:30, the Uri Geller. Do you know, I didn't even call him a fanny. I just remember... Alright, no, I don't. I did tweet this as well. Geller tweeted once... Where are we? My dear friends, someone from US just sent me this. It's crazy. They allege that recent devastating fires that have been happening around the world could be a result of what they call direct energy weapons, which perhaps fire laser-like energy from orbit. And it goes on for ages about fucking a lot of just shite, man. So I replied, stop it, get some help. He's a total grifter. He doesn't believe any of it. But I don't think that's why I got banned. I think I got blocked. I think I got blocked for this one. Oh, maybe not as well. So I exposed a trick that he did. So he did some stupid things with spoons and all, you know what he's like. And just like right there in the comments, I was like, the dent is covered by your thumb at the start of the video. I just pure exposed like some stupid, which it wasn't even a good trick, man. No, I'm just there like, hey, this is how it's done. You're not real. Because the deal about Uri Geller is he's just doing magic tricks, right? But he's claiming to be real. And you might think that's kind of cool because we don't really have like real magic anymore. So if somebody's pretending to be real, it's kind of like kayfabe and stuff. No, because he also claims to be able to cure sick people with his powers. And that for me is over the line a wee bit. That there for me goes into like bad guy territory. Also, he boasts about working for the Israeli military. So fuck that. Another interaction, Geller says, friends, 11 days ago, I said, could Putin have terminal illness? Now, a former intelligence officer who works at the Pentagon has claimed Putin does have an incurable condition. And Nancy, and I'm just like, well, why didn't you predict the invasion and warn everybody? Because you know how you're a psychic? Why didn't you just predict that this is going to happen? Because you know how you're a psychic? Just do something that's good then. Anyway. Also, this one was a wee bit below the belt. Guess where I am? With a photo. This is a bit out of order. Guess where I am? I was just like, care home. That's a wee bit out of order. But what I can't find is the one that I did get banned for. Blocked for. Which is the X-Files one. So I wonder if he's like reported it or hidden it or something like that. So I can see a conversation that I had with Mick West and Uri Geller. Here you go. Here you go. This is it. This is it. It's because he deleted his tweet. He deleted the tweet. So this is a reply to him. So his original tweet is now unavailable because everybody was ripping the cunt out of him. And I was like, it's a photo for an episode of the X-Files, you fanny. Because this was the room. 2 wee seconds. Hi there.
Hi, I just come to say, we'll need to leave in about half an hour, 45
It's
minutes.
4:30 is your appointment, isn't it? Cool.
I want to ring you a
Aye.
bit earlier just because he gets
Aye.
anxious about getting out.
Cool, man.
I'll give you a wee chat.
No, I'll wrap up and we'll get stuff done now.
Oh, no.
Cool. I'll see you in a wee bit. I'll see you in a wee bit.
Bye.
We need to go to the doctor, the doggy doctor. Super D Funkle Albert, thank you very much. Oh my goodness me. This is cool. This is really cool. I'd very much appreciate it, so thank you very much. And I'm sorry that I didn't know folk were excited for me potentially going to this thing. I wish I could have made it happen, but it was just too expensive at the time. So, also, I feel like there's a big part of the Twitch community that I'm just no engaged with, and it's because all these meetups happened down south, and I've had pure FOMO. It feels like I'm pure looking in for the outside sometimes, and that is kind of meaningful for me because it shows that I'm kind of want to use, even though I wasn't there at the time. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. George Lucas is building the Lucas Museum. He is. CyberXL asks, did you hook up a PS2 to the TV yet? No. Hooked up a PS1, hooked up a Mega Drive. I've got slimline PS2s over here, but I think it'll be a good couple of months before I implement one of them. I've got a scenario where I want all my games to be connected to the slimline PS2 via Ethernet, and that's a good way using FreeMcBoot to do all of that, but that's for future me. For the time being, the consoles that I really adore is the original PlayStation and the Mega Drive, and they're working wonderfully on that. I'm getting another bit of technology through quite soon that I need to build where the signal that's going to the television will be able to come out and go into my PC, so that it means that I can play the original PlayStation, the original Mega Drive, but you will be able to see a really good quality live video feed on OBS. So we'll be able to play some vintage games quite soon. I'm looking forward to it. ICU says, I just checked his Twitter and he's retweeting Obama conspiracy theories accompanied by obvious AI slop evidence. Uri Geller's at it. He's not making mistakes and misinformed or whatever. He is at it. And he's making money off just nonsense. Just like bad thinking. So I am on the team of James Randi. And James Randi died, unfortunately, a couple of years ago. So that's why I'm not going to let Uri Geller rest. If you want to know more about James Randi and Uri Geller, check out a documentary called An Honest Liar. I think it's called that. You can even see it on YouTube as well. I'm sure it's uploaded to YouTube. It's all about James Randi, and it's wonderful. And you know what? Since Rachel just came in and recommended that we bounce to go to the vet, so Fred's not doing very well at all. So I need to go to the vet right now. And in Twitch chat, what I'm going to do is, if you don't want to join the raid, I'm going to give you this link. And if you're looking for something to watch, man, check this out. There it is in chat. If you're looking for something to watch right now, check that out. So sorry to cut the stream short, but got obligations to my man Fredo, and in order to make it up to you, I should be on later tonight. Hopefully I'll be on later tonight. In the meantime, I'm going to take you to my friend Beth, who's playing Euro Truck Simulator. What a wonderful game that is. Thanks everybody for coming in. My name's James Houston, and Houston's boosting. But before I do, here is a real magic trick. None of this arm pish. Shut up, Uri Geller. This is how it's done, mate. Shut up, Uri Geller. Shut up, Uri Geller. Shut up, Uri Geller.